So this week we continued building from last week, just displaying the name, to this week actually connecting my Mongo my database. So in my my DB folder, I have my connection. Now this is the connection. This is the connection function, and then I have one of the dependencies that I installed is .env, which helps me to hide very sensitive information from going on GitHub, where my files are keeping them. So I have the env file. My string for connecting to the database is within that, and then I also have my git ignore file, which is going to ignore the stuff that I don't want to go on GitHub. And then obviously I have Mongodb, the dependence installed that helps me to connect with my database. Now that the connection is done, I have within the if you go to my root folder, you find there's an update.js. Then I then call the connection, which is the Mongo Connect. I import it in my main app.js, and then I then listen for the port within the call function call from my database connection. And then from here I then have my routes. This is basically pointing out to the routes file. In this routes file I have a .index.js, which is the default route, and then from there onwards I'm just going to add more routes within the routes file. They're all going to come through here. Then this is the contacts routes. One I'm calling the get all contacts, then the other one is for getting only one contact, and then from there onwards it's connecting to my controller, and this controller is the one where I'm running all the functions that connects to my database. So my database connection in the interaction is basically hosted by the controller. Now let's have this running so that we can demonstrate. It's npm run dev. There you go. So we have npm run dev running. So now let's go to the. This is now my my local host. Let's reload that. And there you go. So this is the information that is getting returned from my database. So now let's go and test it. All this is connection showing that I'm connected to my database. So now let's test this on my REST client and see what is gonna return. So let's open that. Then let's send a request with the particular ID. So this is one document that has been returned. So let's try to see if I do contacts and send that request, then it returns more. So it's returning all the contacts that are within. So it's working. It's working very well. So now let's see the deployed version. So it's live. Now if I click that, it should it's copying it. Let me switch that off, and let's run that. Let's see if my internet is disconnected. Let's see. It looks like my internet connection is a bit slow. But basically, if you then add, there you go, say cannot get. So now I'm going to add a slash, then I'll do slash contacts, and send that request. There you go. So this is the live version. It's working well. So that shows that my application is running very well. It's hosted on Render. I have connected to MongoDB safely. It's querying the database very safely. It's reading the collection and the documents. So it's running just fine. So I'm just going to abort here. Yeah. So I've terminated that, so which means I don't have that running on localhost. I think that's all for this week. We managed to, we were able to work on what was requested. Connect securely to MongoDB. We have REST client running. We can get requests. We have the query parameters. I've set the headers and the architecture of the app. As you can see, I've separated the functionality and the purposes from controller, the database, the routes. So it's working just fine.